Hey everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello, hello.
Sorry, Sergey, I didn't join earlier. I usually join a few minutes before,
Sure.
but today it's a little bit tricky. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon.
Let me just share screen. Okay, I'm still waiting for Tiago to understand if he's going to join us or not. But let's give a few more minutes before we kickstart this, okay?
Sure. Is there only one session? Only my session,
it's
right?
all yours. It's all your
Okay,
session. On your
because
session.
it is there 1.5 hours? So will session?
It's the time that you need. It's the time that you need. It depends. It depends on the audience. Sometimes people have a lot of questions depending on the topic, so we actually give enough time. If it's about an hour, it's okay.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, so let's give it 1 or 2 more minutes, then I'll kickstart this. Okay.
Sure.
So, okay, let's kickstart this. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Azure and AI user group meetup of June. We have someone that dropped. We have today with us Sergey. Unfortunately, Sergey was not able to join us for Global Azure event, but the sessions that he submitted were really good, so we opted to also give you guys the chance to listen to Sergey. Today's session is about AI-powered security, focusing on the incident response with Azure OpenAI. But before I give the room to Sergey, I want to give a heads up to everyone. So in October, there will be an event, the Azure Dev Summit. Azure Dev Summit is an event organized by NDC and Tekorama, not by us, but we are collaborating with them. It's a 3-day conference in Lisbon. It will be at the conference center. I think it's previously called Phil. Help me here, Bruno. You're from Lisbon, not me.
Yes, it's true.
So within our community, oh, and by the way, this is not a free event. Tickets are paid to attend. But within our community, we have the chance to raffle one ticket within our community. So if you want to get a chance to win one of these tickets, there's a QR code on this slide. So you need to scan this QR code, and we need your name, first and last name, and we need your email because we need to send this data to the organizers of the event so that they raffle one ticket and send the ticket to the winning person. Okay, so the link is on that QR code. I'm going to put the link also on the chat in a few minutes. So check out the event, check out the agenda. It's 3 days full of content, so it's a lot of speakers, a lot of sessions, workshops, etc. It's worthwhile for you to check it out. And again, if you want the possibility of winning a ticket for the 3 days, just put your data on that form and we will send it to the organizer of the event so that they can raffle one of the tickets. With that said, my part is done, and now it's time for Sergey. So Sergey, again, welcome to the meetup. It's June. A lot of people are on vacation, so we don't have a lot of attendees. Nevertheless, the session is recorded, and Tiago will put it on our YouTube channel, so people can watch it later if they want to. So the floor is yours, Sergey, and
Sure. Just want to say about the event that you promoted. Unfortunately, I personally cannot speak there and even attend because I will be in the United States, but I will speak at Takorama in Netherlands. So I don't invite anyone, but just want to say that Takorama is very nice, and I was also a speaker at NDC. So I could say that separately, NDC and Takorama are very good. Not sure how do they do things together, but we'll see. All right. So. Hello everyone. Welcome to the session. As you saw before, that session will be about AI in security, AI-powered security. And here I'm going to show you how we can use AI in like OpenAI models in AI Foundry to automate incident response. And I will show you different ways to do it. So from most simple, like by using Copilot or ChatGPT, like if you prefer, then we're going to take a look at like more advanced solutions, more customizable solutions. Of course, this session is not for users, so I'm not going to show you a lot of like prompts for in ChatGPT. Mostly we're going to take a look how can we improve our response, how can we modify the model, how can we bring our own content, and so forth. All right, I'm going to show many live demos. That's my personal preference. Something may not work super quick. That's also what that happens with live demos, but we'll see. All right, so let's get started. Let me first say a few words about myself, then going to say about the agenda, and we'll jump into the content. So my name is Sergey, or Sergi if you prefer. I mean, in Portugal, I live in Portugal, by the way. In Portugal, more often I hear like Sergey or Sergio, which is like someone probably think that I'm local. So I'm a consultant, instructor, conference speaker, speaker at user group as well. Microsoft's most valuable professional in cloud security. I also have many certificates in security. I don't know if it makes any sense, if it makes sense, OSCP, OSAP, and many others. I mean, I did add many others, but OSCP is quite well known in the pen testing world. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, community lead, and if you want to find me on LinkedIn, here's the URL. Or just use my name in any search engine and LinkedIn as well. So that's me. let me show what we're going to do. So first, we're going to start with, I will show you some solutions that Microsoft already provide, like some kind of existing solution where you don't need to do anything except pay for them, or even sometimes not pay. So some existing solutions that can be used in security scenarios. They are quite nice, but quite simple as well. I mean, we don't need to do many things with them. So then I will take it next level. We will take a look at AI Foundry and how we can, I'll give you like a quick introduction to AI Foundry, because you may know it pretty well, you may not. So I need to make sure that everyone has some ideas about this. Then we're going to take a look how AI Foundry can be used to automate incident response. So I will generate incident, and then we'll take a look how we can automate the response. And then we're going to, the response will be really unpredictable, because on purpose, I'm not trying to make it perfect. And then we'll take a look, how can I improve the response with RAG? Again, if you know what RAG is, good. If you do not, then I will tell you anyway. So we'll take a look, how can I use my own content to improve the response, and also the response quality. We will modify with the I will tell you at least how can we modify the response quality with our how we can train the model to make a response better. All right, so from here, I would like to move to the first part, which is utilizing Microsoft 365 Copilot chat, or Microsoft 365 Copilot web search if you prefer, and Security Copilot. This part will be quite quick because it's straightforward. You can find it out without me. And I'm not going to sell you solutions here, and I'm not going to give you super simple stuff. I just want to tell you what exists already, and it's quite simple. So first, what can be used all the time in security? Not only security, of course, but since our session about security, I need to tell about this. Microsoft 365 Copilot chat, or web Copilot web. Webcon, I think it's called web chat or something like this. So they always change names for it. So this one is quite equal to ChatGPT or just a regular Copilot that you usually use. There's only one difference, that my recommendation is to log in with your corporate credentials, because in the security scenario, you're going to use, like, you're going to upload your sometimes sensitive data, sometimes. So you may upload your scripts, you may upload your logs, at least in the scenario I'm going to show you. And if you are doing so, you want to make sure that this data will not be used for training purposes, will not be somehow saved and so on. So that's why we should log in with corporate credentials. In that case, we will have more privacy. So first, let me quickly show you what do I mean by this. So here's the Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot. I guess you saw that many times. In my case, I don't have a license to access Word, Excel, and so forth. That's why there's no work profile, only web. And here in the web, if you take a look at the upper right, you can find here Enterprise Data Protection. There's a big difference if you log in or do not log in. So of course you can use Copilot anonymously, but in this case, your data may be used for training purposes. So that's why if we log in, Microsoft say that they are going to use Enterprise Data Protection. And in this case, your data is private. We won't use your data except as you instruct. Data except as you instruct. And then where's that? Your data isn't used to train foundation models and so forth. So in this case, you have more privacy. So first, if you would like to use Copilot in those kind of scenarios that I mentioned that I would like to show next, you should log in with the corporate credentials. So now what you can do with Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let me show you a few things what we can do. One of them, what I really like, is script analysis. Let me quickly drag my Visual Studio Code, and let's take a look at this script. So honestly, I know how to read it. I know. But for some people, it may not be always straightforward. What does it mean? And this script is not very complicated, but even for me, it will take time to understand what's going on here. So if I just copy that and paste into the Copilot chat and ask to like explain this script. And so for Copilot, it takes like a couple of seconds just to break it down by the different actions and tell me what does it mean, what it does overall. So summary: it downloads obfuscate payload from the internet, it decrypts it using XOR key, and executes the decrypted code in memory, leaving no trace on disk. So this is classic fileless malware technique, often used in red teaming, penetration testing, or malicious attack to evade antivirus and endpoint detection system. All right, so that was quick, right? And even if maybe it's not very hard to read it, but still it was much quicker than we can do it. All right, so you can see here that download some kind of malware. Let's take a look at the payload that already downloaded and decrypted. So here I already decrypted from using XOR. So if just in case, let me go back for a second. It says that this one is encrypted using XOR key, XOR encryption, and then encoded with base64. So what I already done, I already downloaded, decrypt and decode, and we can see this kind of code. Ooh, this one is much harder to read, right? Yeah, much longer, much harder. So let me copy that again. Then say explain this code, and let's paste it. And look at this. What you may sometimes see that this code is exceed character limit. Yeah, that happens. Not a problem. So what we can do instead, we can of course leave here explain this code. But instead of this, instead of pasting, I can just attach file. Let me just make sure that it will point to the right folder. Yep. So, and here I'm going to take decrypted malware. And now I can just send it out. And look at this. It's really quick. Really, really, really quick. So now I would say that this script is highly suspicious or resembles behavior used in red teaming, penetration testing, or malware, and it just say what it does. So this makes code injection. So it takes malicious code, or maybe not malicious, but anyway, and inject it into the process called Notepad. So in fact, the malicious code will be attached to a process in memory that is looked like a Notepad for operating system. Anyway, so it was quick, much quicker than any human can analyze. So you can do it with Microsoft 365 Copilot very quickly. You can analyze scripts, you can analyze code. What we can also do, we can analyze logs. So if we upload the log, we can ask what's going on, what happened, and it can tell us what happened based on the logs. Of course, here what may be the hardest part. I really need to give very short amount of logs, otherwise it will not work. So we need to have a limited. So it will support only limited amount of logs. If you have like a terabytes of data in your SIEM system, of course that's not the solution. But if you have like a very specific log that you want to analyze, that might work. In the same manner, like I show you with scripts, I can upload logs. Let me do it real quick. So. Just a moment. So I upload logs, and I can say explain those logs. And now break it down by the events and can also make this summary. And finally, Copilot can also write documents for you and create also notes, memos for users, like do not click on the links and so forth. So what is good? It's completely free, available to every customer, and you just need to log in to copilotmicrosoft.com with your Enter credentials. So that's it. But of course, it is possible to take this stuff to the next level with another solution, which is in opposite, much more expensive. So this one is called Security Copilot. So Security Copilot is designed to enhance capability of security professionals by leveraging AI. I took it, of course, from Microsoft website. So what Security Copilot can do? It can summarize your incident. So it can take a look at the different alerts and say what happened in this incident, and just like build this timeline and just give you like a shorter summary. It can also give you ideas what to do with the incident. So for example, if there's an incident, how should you classify it? What actions you need to take after this incident will pop up, and so forth. It can also give you queries for threat hunting. It can give you scripts for reverse engineering. It can analyze scripts in the same manner like I show you, but this time we don't need to upload anything. We just have this some kind of scripts involved into incident, and it can analyze it right away without copy paste to free Copilot. And again, this one, it can also analyze an impact and give you a guide response. What should you do step by step to mitigate that, to handle incident. Available to every customer, but this time you need to pay kind of big money for it. And to work with Security Copilot, we need to deploy. Units, security compute units. Let me drag my Azure portal and make a quick deployment. Why I didn't make deployment before? To save money and just to show you that it's pretty quick to make this deployment. So let me type here in Azure Security Copilot. And I'm going to find here Microsoft Security Compute capacities. Deployment is very quick. So I just need to quickly. Oh, there's no resource group with Copilot. Let me create that. All right, so let's call that SCU. And I will not enable average. What you can see here right away, which makes, in my eye, I look at the chat about the prices for tickets for NDC and Tekorama. Yeah, that's the price. It's still cheaper than the Copilot per month. So here I have 2 units, and it will cost me almost $6,000. So that's kind of a lot. A lot. All right, let me tick the box, and it will quickly create the unit. What is good here? It's really quick. So usually it takes just a few seconds before you can see here it's complete, and I can look at my Security Copilot. I can go to the portal. What is that? That wasn't expected, honestly. So let's click on Finish Setup. Okay, so that's better. So let's choose capacity, click Apply. Okay, done. So now we can use Security Copilot, which looks like a chat, but this time if I take a look at this chat, I can see that this chat has access to many sources. So to my firewall logs, to my web application firewall, and many others, my XDR, my Entra, my Intune, my Purview, my Sentinel, if those names make sense, of course. So it has access to different products. And if you are using third-party products, there's also access to non-Microsoft products. And of course, you need to set them up. You can also create your own plugins, so there are many things that you can do. And so Security Copilot exists in two different interfaces, like a chat, which is called standalone experience, where I can write things in the same manner, but this time with access to my logs. So this time I don't need to upload the log. I can just start ask about this log right away. So that's the one experience. And second experience is embedded. So embedded allows me to work with Copilot right in the portal where I have my security services. Let's take a look. If I go into my security portal and open my incidents, so at this point, let me close that. Last 3 days, I didn't have any incidents. Let's see 1 week. Yeah, I did. Let's find out something interesting. Not so many alerts. Let's find something 30 days ago where I have more alerts. So here we have 10 alerts. Let's try that one. Let me open incident. And look at this. Right away, it's starting to generate summary for incident and guide the response. It usually takes some time, so I may need to wait. Oh, here we go. So we already have guide the response. And the first action that need to be taken, according to Copilot, I need to classify incident. And this incident, based on the Copilot analysis, is true positive. So it's like a real. Then I should isolate device called win1 and reset password for user with surprise, my name. And also now build a summary of what happened. So now just took like 10 alerts and just break it down by the events, what actually happened. It could be more. It's. I would say it's not really smooth enough, so it doesn't build the real story. It just said like this one happened first, and after that, another things happened. So what could be better here? It can really build a smooth story, like with all of the alerts involved into it, not just a breakdown by the time periods. Anyway, so that's what Copilot, what was done by Copilot. So let me take a look at different activity that I had. So for example, let's see, Spears remote session. What do I have here? And here I can see when PS was detected, nothing super interesting here. If I expand, nothing here. I mean, I'm not saying that nothing interesting. There's nothing really to analyze with Copilot. What if I take that one? So look, I have PowerShell something. What if I click Analyze? And now it's generating this like then analyze my script right here, right in the Security Copilot. All right, I hope it makes sense what the Security Copilot is. If you don't mind, I'm going to kill it right. Oh, great! I'm going to kill it right away because it charged me, and I don't want to pay all that money. Don't forget, this session is free of charges, so I pay for my own Copilot. All right, so that's the basic solutions that we had like as is. Yeah, some of them are free, some of them not, but that's where we don't need to do anything. But at the same time, we're limited if in the way how can we modify it. So what you can do, we can take it to the next level and use the power of AI Foundry together with OpenAI models and really have more flexibility and more automation. Okay, so I may ask real quick, did you hear about AI Foundry? I'm not sure if we have like a very constant feedback. I have constant feedback from you all the time. So just in case, I will show you what it is. And then we'll take a look how OpenAI, how AI Foundry can be used together, like how it can be used in security scenarios. Let's see. I'm going back to my Azure portal. And what I need to do if I would like to see what, let me just say a few words about AI Foundry first before I can show you. So AI Foundry is the platform by Microsoft, of course, that helps developers, not only developers, here I'm not really showing you any development stuff, but it helps developers create, manage, and deploy AI applications easily, and think of it as the toolkit that provides everything you need to build smart apps like chatbots or recommendation system using AI models. So with AI Foundry, you can find out the base model. If you would like, you can make some improvements of the model. You can fine-tune the model, you can bring your own content to the model, you can build what is called prompt flows, and then use this model for with your applications. But in some circumstances, you can even just use the base model as is, and just use them with your application right away. Okay, so let me quickly go back to the portal, Azure portal. And here I would like to first find OpenAI object. Oh no, sorry, my bad. That was the name of them. Azure OpenAI. So here I have two OpenAI objects. This one is for security purposes. So let me click on that and explore in AI Foundry. So this one is the object that allow me to use OpenAI models. So I have several models here already. I have several models here already. But first, let me go to catalog and show you where those models came from. So here I can see models from OpenAI. Just in case, if you're thinking, but wait a second, that's all we have. Because if you go to Hugging Face, you'll find like dozens of models, and here we have only those. No, not really. So in AI Foundry, we have more models. There are also models from Microsoft, from Meta, and from many others. But those models they're not OpenAI. So the reason why I see only those models is because I create OpenAI object. That's why. All right, so that's the reason why. So here I have base models, and the model I would like to choose the currently is like GPT 4.1. Click on that. And then what I need to do, I need to deploy this model. So first, I need to make a deployment. Deployment is really straightforward. So honestly, I don't really need to do anything. I just need to click use this model, choose the name I want to use for deployment, because I already have the model GPT 4.1. That's why it's already there, and it asked me for another name. But anyway, so here. So here, I just need to deploy the model. I already have it, just in case, I already have it. So that's why I'm not going to do it again. And let me take a look at my existing models. So here I have 3 models deployed. I have GPT 4.0, I have GPT 3.5 Turbo, and I have GPT 4.1. Let me take GPT 4.1. And let's play a bit with the model itself. So now we'll have experience is quite similar to Copilot with a few differences. First of all, we can set up system message, which is give me a lot of power to set up like a context and the role for my agent. For example, let me show you a very simple example. You are Yoda. You speak like Yoda. So I'm going to apply changes. Click on continue. And now let's take a look. If I'm going to, let's say, recipe creation, let me ask to create a recipe or marketing slogan. So let me do that. Click send. And it sounds like Yoda, right? Green, your world shall be. Choose wisely, you must. It's definitely Yoda, because if I try something else, let me just remove that and apply changes and try just the same stuff. Now it should be normal. Yeah, green today, greater tomorrow, choose eco-friendly, choose wisely. It's different, right? Okay, so we can control here system message. And if I would like to use it in my security context, I need to set up appropriate system message. So let me quickly show you what kind of messages can be used. Here's the example of the system message. Let me copy that real quick and show you that in more details. It's just an example. It might be something else. It's up to you. What do you want to write? But in this case, I'm saying you are incident response expert. So your role will be provide guidance on the incident, the response, and recovery techniques to mitigate potential risk. So your response should have this structure: first, incident summary, containment. Then I would say one of the key phrases: should I isolate this device from the network? And I have here two kind of responses: yes or no. And what is important here for me, at least, it could be done in a different manner, but here in my example, I'm using like hashes. Just to separate from ordinary words. So not just to have like a yes as just the word yes, which can be found somewhere else, but here I just want to really separate the response from AI. Yes or no. So should I isolate this device from the network? And finally, recovery. Should I how should I recover this device? I apply that. And let's take a look at the example. What can tell me if I send the sample incident? Let me first clear that. Send it. So I'm not sure if you're aware of Netcat. It's kind of a well-known tool that can be used also in, it can be used for network. And so initially that was a legit tool. But it is very popular in pen test, in also ethical hacking and hacking, because with this tool, we can also create the channel for remote control of the machine and what is called a reverse shell. So Netcat tool is really popular in the security, in offensive security scenarios. That's why all antiviruses or many antiviruses will detect this tool as something bad. And AI also should tell us that Netcat tool is not really a good idea to have on the device. Let's see. So now I just send a message that Netcat tool was prevented on the device, and then description, and more details about this, what happened. Let me send it to AI, and let's see what will it do. And look at this. So now it's showing me summary of the incident. Honestly, the summary is quite straightforward. I mean, that based on the description of alert, it doesn't really give much new stuff. It just say that the tool was detected, it was blocked, and so forth. It says about containments. Honestly, containment, it reminds me like articles on the internet, like check the service, stop the service, reboot the computer, and so forth. Yeah, it's not super deep. So it could be better. It's quite high level. But my question, should I isolate this device from the network? And it says yes. And also format it properly between those two hashes. And the reason through the tool was blocked as attempted deployment suggests possible compromise methods. And attacker may have used other tools or techniques. So generally speaking, attacker may still be there. If it was detected, maybe even if the tool was blocked, maybe attacker is still there and use other tools to like continue the attack. And it gives some ideas about the recovery. All right, so that was model tells me right away. But how can I use it for automation? Of course, you can create your own script and so forth, but let me quickly show you. If I deploy this model, I can go to deployments and can take a look at the I can take a look at my deployment. So here it gives me URI and the key for authorization key. I will not show you the key. Someday you will see it anyway, because I will show you the logic app that use it. But I can use it in my code, and here I can even see examples in Python. I can see it in JavaScript, or just make a REST API request where I just need to do something like this. So in this example, I can add from PowerShell using and the PowerShell, but using curl and so forth. So if I would like to automate the response, somehow I need just a trigger based on something. It may be timer. It may be some other events. If you ever work with something like logic ops, you know that you can configure trigger. So what I need to do, I need to configure my logic op that will trigger this event. It will trigger this model. So I'm going to logic ops, and here I have logic op called Gen AI SOAR. By the way, I have two versions, the older version and the newer version. So let me first show you older version, which is like currently, let's call it deprecated. So in the past, Microsoft Logic Apps, they did have connector directly to alerts to find out if there's a new alerts pop up, but not anymore. So that was deprecated. Now what we need to do, we need to, it still work for existing Logic App, but for the new Logic Apps, what we need to do, we need to create our own trigger. In my case, it's just recurrence. I can whatever, so I can change it to whatever I want. I can run. I will run manually here, so it doesn't matter. Then I would like to make because it's on the recurrence. It runs every 15 minutes. What I would like to do, I check my current time. So that's the step to check current time. And I would like, oh, sorry, not 10 minutes, 15 minutes should be, or it must run every 10 minutes. Let's say, oh, not safe. So it takes current time and then look back for the previous 15 minutes. And then we'll make HTTP request where created time of the alert greater or equal this calculated time, which was the previous step. So I would like to see alerts that happened like in the last 15 minutes. So it runs every 15 minutes and look back for 15 minutes. So I make this get request, in my case, authentication using application. And then I need to parse it, of course, because the response will be in JSON. If you ever done that yourself with this Graph API, you know that it will be in JSON format. And so JSON needs to be parsed. So we parse JSON. And then what I need to do, now what I've got, I got alerts. I got alerts from the from my XDR. Now what I need to do, I need to take this alert, I mean the text from the alert, and send this text to my OpenAI. So I send the title and description. And of course, so here in JSON format, I send the system message, which I show you before, and the user message, but this time I will not hard code the text like I show you before in the playground, but this time I will take a title and description from the alert that pop up in XDR. All right. As usual, we need to parse it. And then what I can do, I can create a condition. I can get a condition. So if message content contains word yes between those hashes, then I can get alert from Defender and isolate machine from the network. Okay, so that's the automation scenario. What I would like to do now, I would like to first simulate it. No guarantees that it will be isolated right away, but we'll see, at least we'll see that workbook is running. Plus, I would like to modify it. I would like to improve the response later on as well. So maybe the response that will provide that OpenAI will not isolate the machine, but we will improve the response in the future. So for now, let me move to the demo again. I would like to copy my I would like to take my netcat, and I would like to drop it on the machine. Just a moment. Come on. Looks like my antivirus blocked it. Give me a moment. I'm going to first allow it on the machine. Okay, so my antivirus on this machine blocks. Let's take it from another machine. And 64 from here. Paste here. Okay, so antivirus found the thread, and eventually, maybe not the same second, not right now. It might take a few minutes, but that should appear in my security portal. And after that, I will be able to run my playbook, my logic app, and so we'll see how the automation works. So that was removed. Now, if I go to my security portal, again, maybe not in the same second, and we may need to wait 1, 2, 3 minutes before that guy pop up. You know that stuff is not predictable. Let's change filter. Yeah, not yet. So I just need to wait a bit. Oh, meanwhile, I can see that meanwhile, I can check the message. With this agent, we have data protection. You mean this agent, the one that was security copilot? If that guy, yes. If you mean if you mean AI Foundry, then also yes. So that's the OpenAI model hosted privately in Azure. And if you read about that from Microsoft, they say that they don't share this data with OpenAI when you host your OpenAI models in AI Foundry. So answer to all questions, I mean, regardless of the security copilot or AI Foundry, the answer is yes. So data will not be shared with AI Foundry. At least that's what Microsoft say. I don't know for sure what happened okay, so netcat tool was prevented. And now what we can try to do, we can go back and let's run that and cross your fingers. At least we'll get something, and that we'll use to analyze. We'll get something. So let's see. Oh, what is that? Something like action for each. Something did not work properly. Condition. True. But what's going on with condition? Oh, couldn't isolate the machine. Oh, sorry, my bad. It looks like the actual identity doesn't have permissions to isolate the machine. Okay, so I think you got an idea. So the last step, just like something, or maybe not. Oh, VM not found. No, sorry, not about permissions. It said machine not found. Maybe I used the wrong step here to find out the machine, or something else happened. Maybe the machine wasn't linked properly because alert machine ID should be okay. And if that's an incident, it should work properly if that was devices here. That's odd. Anyway, so if we rerun it, maybe it was not linked properly in that moment. If we run, maybe it will be better. But you saw all the steps that were executed. Maybe maybe the last step. So now let's take a look what was returned by this logic app. So on the recurrence, we add time, then let's see what was there. So we made a request, get request. And in the parse JSON, yeah, that's what we got. We got netcat. So that was input, and the output from parse JSON was the result. The body. So we got information about alert. Then we took it to the next level when we send the request to OpenAI. We parse JSON again, and let's see what was the result of output. Yep, so we got similar response we saw before. So body content, and it says yes, so needs to be isolated. Good. So then we just compose just to make sure that everything is okay. This optional step. And here, expression was true. So yes, it must go into that direction. It found out the actual alert. I found out actual alert. And only thing that something was like resource not found. Honestly, I can double check about the sets. Maybe device is like, let's see, one day. Can we see the device? Yeah, device is still here. We can take a look at the new one and see if there's a, yeah, the same result. Okay, something was not device. Something was wrong with the device links, or doesn't have, or cannot find the device. Anyway, so that's the last step. But the most important step about AI, they were executed successfully. So that's what we can do with AI and logic ops. So that will cost you very small money. If we deploy GPT 4.1 for all model, you will pay only for tokens that goes back and forth. I mean, when you send your prompt and when you receive the response from the model, and this will not be very expensive if you just use it in your automation of your incidents, because you don't have, again, if your SOC is really huge and you have like dozens of incidents per second, it could be expensive. But generally for most companies, it just costs very, very small money, because you pay only for the tokens that sent to the model and received back, which is very, very cheap. That's my old option with the logic, with the old connector. New connector, like this connector you can see on top, was deprecated, and now we need to use the just HTTP request again. So 2 times, make a request to Graph API, and then make one more request to the model itself. All right, but what if you are not satisfied with the response? What if a response that you receive is not very correct? I mean, maybe it's correct in general, but your experience is different, and you would like to modify the response. So in this case, what you can do, you can use RAG, or retrieval augmented generation, and the response will be different. So here you can see example of RAG, not in security context, but just an example. If user asks, can you tell me about the history of quantum computing? So in this case, if we use RAG, the model itself will not give you a response just from its own knowledge, but will run additional search. So let's take a look. The system searches a large database of knowledge, large database or knowledge base, to find the relevant documents or piece of information about the history of quantum computing. It might retrieve information from different articles, historical records, educational websites, and so forth. Then the piece of information will be augmented. So the retrieved information is then used to supplement user prompt. So if I ask about this quantum computes, then the information that was found will be added to my prompt, and then will be sent to large language model. And model will generate the response based on my prompt and based on the additional data that were provided from that were retrieved. Why this step is so important? Because the model may not know, first of all, the current, the new data, and model may have very generic knowledge and also outdated. Let me show you a few examples first before we use that with our incident. I'm going back to my AI Foundry. go to chat. Take 4.1 model. And let's just ask generic question. So now we are, so let's ask something. Honestly, even if I live in Portugal, I have no idea who is the, let's see, who is Prime Minister? Was it Minister of Portugal? Luis Montenegro. I think he is Prime Minister also currently, so nothing was changed. Let me try something else. Who is the president of USA? And now it says, look, as of June 24th, President of the United States is Joe Biden, which of course, it used to be correct, but not correct now. And so let's imagine that we have an incident with some kind of new exploit, and model may not know about this. So we need to teach this model. I mean, not teach the model itself, but we need to inform the model about this exploit. The same also, the model may have like very generic vision, and we may need to add more context, more content that will give more explanation. So just trying to say here that the model knowledge is still maybe outdated or maybe very generic. So what we can do, let me clear this message and go back to my previous system message and my previous prompt. Let's apply changes, click on continue. I will send the same prompt again just to quickly remind you what was the response from the model. It says yes, we must isolate this device from the network. All right, maybe I disagree. Maybe we know that Netcat's tool is like is safe, and we use this tool for in our own operations. And I would like to say that this tool is safe. So in that case, I need to do one thing. I need to add data source, and data source will be based on AI search. So first, what I need to do, I need to deploy AI search. So let's go there. Let's go to Azure portal. Whoa! Come on. Let's go here, and let's type AI search. AI search. Let me click on create. Let me also drop it here in Copilot and say AI search, something like that. Some unique name. Place it into West Europe. And let's leave all the stuff by default and click on review and create. And yeah, price is quite high here, so which we'll discuss soon. So let me click on create and click on create. So that's why I leave it with I'm deploying it now, but not before, because it costs some money. So let me go move next slide and give this guy time to be deployed. So to use our own content in RAG, we need to do several things. First of all, you need to deploy AI search. And you saw already that this AI search, just to run this AI search, it will cost you money. It will cost, like in the standard, it costs you 234 just to run that in a standard format. But when you start to use it, you will also pay for additional stuff. But that's not it. You will also need to do several additional things. You need to create index, which is like index, and then you need to create a prompt flow. Index you create in the search, so okay, that's fine. But you also need to create a prompt flow. Prompt flow, that's how we're going to publish our content. So how are we going to publish our RAG? What do I mean by this? Even if I create a search and I build the index, But how are we going to incorporate this new information into our modular response? So to do so, we need to go to AI Foundry and build what is called prompt flow. So prompt flow will take my prompt, also make the retrieval, augment like this new information to the prompt, and then send it to large language model. So all that stuff, all this rack will be done by prompt flow. Prompt flow costs money. Prompt flow costs money because they will run in the special container that must run all the time, and you have to pay for this as well. So now if we go to modify the knowledge, it will cost additional money. So this search is taking a bit longer than usual to deploy to be deployed. Okay, still provisioning. All right, let me move to the next step, and then I will go back to rack because this one is just taking longer than I planned. So you can bring your own content, and we'll take a look at that in the demo when I change my. I will convince model that Netcat is safe. But first, let's take a look at one more modification we can do. It's called fine tuning. This one will. That's where we're going to take our modification of model to the next level. And fine-tune the model. Quite often there is a confusion between what's the difference between RAG and fine-tuning. So fine-tuning means taking the pre-trained model and training it a bit, trained a bit, train a bit more with the new data set. So like some kind of data. So you teach the model how to respond to specific questions. So you don't just tell about the content. You train the model how to handle the specific questions, specific prompts better. It can be useful to remove inconsistency. And I would say in the model GPT 4.1, we don't have this inconsistency. That's why I'm going to show you the fine-tuning result on the older models, just to see how what may be different. But also before I do so, just want to say that that also costs money, because if you would like to use fine-tuning, you need to make a deployment. So you need to first train the model, and the model training will cost you money. But the most important, you need to deploy your fine-tuned model, and this deployment will be very expensive. I mean, when I say very expensive, of course, each company has their own budgets, and I'm just trying to say that will be much more expensive than just using built-in models. So let me jump back to AI Foundry and show you real quick where I can find fine-tuning. So fine-tuning, available also in AI Foundry. And I have here two fine-tuned models, GPT 4.0 and GPT 3.5. Let me just quickly click on the fine-tune GPT 3.5 and say use this model. And just make a deployment. Just also keep in mind, after you click on deploy, it will start charging you kind of big money. But you may say, wait a second, but how did you get those fine-tuned models? Because normally if you open AI Foundry, there's nothing there. So in fine-tune, there's nothing. So where can you get those fine-tuned model? So you can easily fine-tune them. If you click on the fine-tune model, choose your base models, like let's say GPT 4.0 or GPT 3.5, whatever. Let's click next. And here, what I need to do, I need to bring some training data for this model. how the training data looks like. Let me quickly drag my machine, my Visual Studio Code again. I would like to make a break here. I mean, just line break. And let me show you one example. So here, I send in JSON format, system message, user message, and how assistant, how AI should handle those messages. How exactly it need to respond. So system message you saw before, user message you saw before, so that's the same user message as system message. But here I also tell how AI need to respond. And it will be not only about the content, but also about the format. So every time the response will be between those hashes. So I repeated 10 times, I think around 10 times. But every time a response is different. So if you like compare my assistant answers, they are different. Oh, for example, let me take like the last words. Incident response procedures. Here we have prevent future incidents. So that's the different response. But every time I say I would like to isolate, and I would like to isolate, and the isolation needs to be between those hashes. Just I want to make sure that it will not break the format, because I would say model 4.1 is pretty good with this. It should not break it, but older models like 3.5, even 4.0, especially earlier version of 3.0, they 4.0, they not always returned in the right format. Let me quickly show you what kind of inconsistency we may have if the model was not fine-tuned, and especially if the model is quite old. Like 3.5 turbo, this time not fine-tuned, just a standard 3.5. Let me clear that. And I would like to send my prompt again. Containment, yes, good. Let's try again. One time. Let's send 5 times and see the result. Yes, again, between hashes, so no issues in the format. So 2 times in a row, good. I haven't seen before with 3.5. Oh, is it 3.5? Okay, so 3rd time. Let's try one more. One more. Oh, that I'm surprised. Usually 3.5 do not return the response every time properly. So this one will even work without fine-tuning. It's not fine-tuned. Let me try something else. Let's say that one. Maybe there's a new version that a bit smarter. Okay, this one also between hashes. So sometimes it returns between wildcards or so and so forth. Now it's fine. So we don't even need to make fine tuning here. Okay, so those models became smarter. Maybe there's a newer version or something. Maybe this version is smarter than it used to be, because normally when I play with when I send that to 3.5, it not all. Oh, and then it says no, but it's still in the right format. Okay, so one last time. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Finally, something weird. So even if the response was yes, like this, it says yes. But this one, but the actual the response here, yes, no, which is a bit weird and may break my workflow. So the response may not be always consistent. So may not always be consistent. So what I would like to do, I will go back to fine tuning, train the model, then go to my deployments. Oops. Go to my deployments and see my deploy model. So this one is still deploying. I have also fine-tuned GPT-4o. I can try to do it against GPT-4o. And this time it will not have any issues at all. GPT 4.0 sometimes also had those issues that you saw with 3.5. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. With 3.5 it happened more often. So, but fine-tuned always respond properly. So all the time it says yes between those hashes because I showed how it must be done. All right, so that's about fine tuning. And here I would like to go back to the previous step that I didn't really show you about RAG. So let's bring our own data just to tell to the model how it must respond to with the new content, with the new knowledge. So let me just choose the standard model GPT-4o, clear the chat, and paste that stuff again. So again, my expectation will say yes, yes, yes between hashes. And I would like to add more data. And I would like to add data. I should have it in my blob storage, or I can just, let's say, upload files. That will be the fastest one. Add it to my blob storage and use AI search. Index name will be, let's say, AZ Portugal. And let's click next. And I'm going to upload the file here. So I will drag it to my another screen just to make sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's the right folder. I'm going to upload text document. Yeah, where's the upload? Upload document, and click next. So all the rest, I will just click next, next, next. And in the minute or so, it should build. Oh, maybe I should use API key. It should build the index. Okay, save and close. While it's building, I would like to say one more thing. So now if I just use the document as is, it will use very standard keyword-based search. If I really want to make a semantic search, I also need to take one more step and find and deploy one more model for ADA model. Is it here? Yeah, text embeddings ADA model. So I need to deploy also this model to also build vectors. And so in that case, search will be much more intelligent. But in my case, since I've just been on the single document and I would like to make a demo as quick as possible, keyword-based search is okay. But again, in the real world, we also need to bring not only just keyword-based search, but also more intelligent based on, so it must build the vectors and find out like what kind of information is close to each other and so forth. So let me go back. I bet, yeah, vector was already built. Let me run my prompt one last time. And this time my expectation is that it says no, because my documents clearly say that Netcat is safe. Okay, look at this. No. Maybe not the best explanation why. We can try one more time, and if it might tell me why, because in my document I explained that Netcat is just a standard legal tool that we use in our networking. Let's see if it tell me why. No, again, it did not say why. It doesn't need to isolate. But let me just do it one last thing. I would like to show you my document where I'm clear say that Netcat, what this tool is all about, and so there's no need to isolate machine from the network. And because I'm doing here keyword-based search, I'm trying to be more specific, explicit. But of course, with semantic search, I need to be more that I can give more generic explanation. All right, so that was a RAG. That was a RAG. Let me check one last thing, and then we'll go to Q&A. So we also tried fine-tune the model, and that was my last slide for today. We have 15 minutes or 14 minutes left for your questions. So if you have your questions, let's take a look. First, I can see the question from Pedro in the chat. So any reason why they've deprecated that connector for logic up? So I didn't see the real official explanation. Let me quickly show you that page. Microsoft logic app alert connector deprecated. Okay, so let's try logic app security graph. Yeah, that's not the right one. Not alert connector, but security graph connector. Okay, so yeah, that's what we can find. Microsecurity graph deprecated, and they don't really say why it's deprecated. They just give you a normal explanation of this connector, and that's it. So they just add the deprecated word to the name, and that's it. Not really explain why it was deprecated, what was wrong with the previous connector. My guess is just they want to unify it under the same under the single HTTP connect, because it's still, graph. It's just available using like just REST API, so you don't need to have a separate connector for it. But it is a bit more hassle. So now you need not only to make a request, which is straightforward, but also you need to parse it properly, which requires some hassles. So yeah, I don't know why, but they did it. Also, I can see Lukash is writing a message, so let me... what trigger could we use to automate the flow? Oh, that's a great question. That's the great question. Let me go back to the portal. And let's see. So here I'm using the recurrence, and I think that will be... So from my perspective, that will be the best one. Otherwise, you will process the same alerts several times. In the recurrence, you just run on time, on some specific time period, and then you also need to make sure. Oh, sorry, it's not edit. You need to make sure that you're looking back on the right interval, or you can run it every minute. You can run. Depends how many alerts you have and how fast you would like to take action. You can run every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes. That's the way to avoid duplicate alerts. Because in all other cases, it will be a bit hard because in fact the trigger is just a graph API. Just make a API request. With API request, it's a bit hard to set up a filter. What you can do, you cannot filter by the alerts that already processed. So there's no such filter. You need to find a filter that will not really process one more time the same alerts. And I would say the time will be the best way to do so. Otherwise, if you just use other triggers when alert came in, or something like that, then you may have duplicates because it will just make a request and process the same alerts again. Okay, good. Thank you. Only one open question. I already answered the question. Come on, AI facilitator. What's the difference between this agent Copilot from Azure and from Microsoft Power Platform? Honestly, technically there's no much difference, because Power Platform and Logic Apps, they are in fact pretty much it's like the fact that that's the workflows that do pretty much the same stuff. But Logic Apps, they work with infrastructure, and Power Platform, they work with mostly like your data, like your user data. But in fact, that's the same workflow. So if you would like to do it, I would say with Power Platform, it may not be the best idea, because in case of Power Platform, it's still Power Platform is still tied to a user, to a specific user and to user license and user profile. And SOC, I mean, your alerts in your SOC, they are not tied to user. They belong to SOC. So you should not really connect it directly to the specific user. That's why it is better to use Logic App rather than Power Platform. But technically, Power Platform is pretty much the same as Logic App. So if you have experience with Power Platform, then you just go to your Azure, create Logic App, and use your existing skills to do pretty much the same. Thank you for explanation. It was a great session. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That was not in vain. Yep. All right. Hi, Tiago. All right. So let me just run the one slide again with agenda where I just wrap up what we've done. And then we're going to finish. And our deadline in 7 minutes, so I have to finish anyway. All right. So what we've done today. So we started from very basic things, like we used existing tools like Copilot, Chat, Security Copilot, which is free or not free. Then we explore OpenAI with Azure Foundry, so the base models we can deploy. And then we take a look at the Logic App, where it automates the response by sending the request to AI model and ask, "What do you think, model? What is the best way to handle this incident?" Then we add our own data when we teach the model like how to handle, like we just add more information, and the model will be able to give the more intelligent response, like more current response, because the model was trained on some kind of data which is finished on the date, and even 4.1 latest data is June of the year 2024. So we can first train the model with not the train model, but we can tell the model about the new data, and also we can tell the model how we would like to answer to what do we think about this specific malware and so forth. And finally, we fine-tune the model to not only train about the content, but also about the format, about the accuracy of the response. And again, I showed you before, by the way, when I with 4.0 model, we didn't have this problem. We only have the problem with 3.5. So now I deploy 3.5 real quick just to show that. Let's just make a last comparison one last time. So one time I run against 3.5. And that was good. One more time. Now, honestly, 3.5 started to surprise me because in the past, it returned me all the time, not all the time, but quite often incorrect responses. Like it may say yes, but not between hashes, but between wildcards and so forth. Now it's much better. It looks like they also make updates on those models, even if I didn't install updates. Only one time. Oh, it says no this time, but at least it's the right format. One last time, if it say yes, then I don't know why we fine tune the model even. Oh, yes, no, finally. So it gave me weird response at least once. I would say in the past it gave me it more often. Now let's take a fine-tuned 3.5 and run five more times and see the. Now my expectation it must return appropriate answer every time between hashes, and yes. So yes between hashes. So one, good. So let's run 5 times and make sure that all 5 times it returns consistent response. Yes, good. 3 more times. Fingers crossed. Yes. 2 more times, and I will let you go if there are no more questions. Yes again, and one last time. So if the last time will be okay, then 5 out of 5 compared to 3 out of 5 with the model without fine tuning. So yes again. So 5 out of 5 compared to standard model, which gave me 3 times yes normally, 1 times no, and 1 time yes no, which is weird. Okay, so that's what we've done during the session, and I answer your questions. So I can say thank you very much for your participation. Maybe someday I will do the session in Portuguese. Someday in many, many years. So anyone
challenge accepted. Next time you do it in Portuguese.
Not next time. I said years. Only if you invite me after several years. Years. Not that fast.
It's not that hard, Portuguese. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Only when I started living in Portugal, I learned that your first name is Tiago, not Tiago.
Yeah.
Like everyone say. All right. So anyone wants to say something from organizers? Pedro, Tiago. One more. Oh, it's Tiago. Tiago. Oh, released.
Well,
you might have work.
The only thing I want to say is thank you, Sergey, for your availability and also for your great session. Like I mentioned at the beginning of today's session, there's a form on the chat which requests attendees data if you want to be eligible for a ticket for the Azure Dev Summit. So again, if you want to be eligible for that free ticket, just fill the form with your name and your email address so that we can send it to the organizers. And it's a wrap, right? It's a wrap. So again, thank you, Sergey. And for July topic, we will announce it soonish because it's also vacation period for a lot of people. So we need to still decide on if we're going to do a session on July or if we pause also for a short summer break. Thank you all that attended. Like I mentioned at the beginning also, the session is recorded, and whenever Mr. Tiago has the time to upload this, he will put it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Tiago has time, really?
Yeah, and by the way, sorry about me getting here late, but I'm currently in the NATO summit in the Netherlands, and my 5G network didn't work the whole day there. So I was totally with no connectivity at all. Okay, weird things happened. So yeah.
Don't worry, man. Nobody noticed that you were not here. So
No one. Yeah.
Anyways, Sergey,
but
again,
but the thing was recorded. I put this to record automatically, so should not be a problem.
It was from the
yeah
side.
And Sergey, thank you so much for your presentation. At least I saw most of it, and I have the transcript here of the rest, so it feels like it was a great session.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
Always happy to